What the flip is going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new price action study. Alright, so listen. Here's the news drivers. CB consumer confidence, existing home sales, right? And the very first thing I noticed, well, you know what? Let me put that on pause. Let's just start on our higher time frame chart. I'm gonna keep it brief today because I still have to study and it's like 11 o'clock and I gotta wake up pretty early. So, yeah. Anyways, also, I'm not gonna be able to study a video like every week like I wanted to. My notebook is full and I do not have money right now to buy a new notebook. It's sad, I know. But I did ask for notebooks for the holidays, so maybe I'll get one. But anyways, I have like 5 more pages in my notebook, so after I do the video tonight, I probably won't be able to keep going. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get into this. So what did I say? Monthly still bullish, realizing that price is only trading up here to take these buy stops, and I was expecting some form of consolidation or break in structure on our lower time frames before I would say like, okay, yeah, we're gonna see lower prices. So we're using a higher time frame idea that we're in a premium at a level of buy side liquidity, but now we're gonna watch how price plays out. And we did have a break in structure, which you saw like a second ago. But anyways, let's just simplify this, right? So here on the monthly, I don't know why these are like, this should not be on the monthly chart, like flat out. But anyways, like that, oh god, that's so fucking annoying. Hold on, give me 1 second. Like that, literally, I never adjusted these to be on my monthly chart, like ever. Bro, come on, this is not right. Like, this is actually crazy. I know I'm just complaining, but like, that's really annoying. Do not want to see all that. I'm only trying to see that on my lower time frame charts. I don't know if those have been there, but like seriously, that's fucked up. All right. So I know I'm just complaining at this point, but anyways. Okay, perfect. There we go. All right. So anyways, listen, S&P monthly higher, right? We barely spiked above these candles bodies into buy side, and now we can see the monthly candle created that high and has since traded lower. So that's what we're looking at here. How about on the weekly? You guys, like I said, we've literally been bullish for like every every single day, just watching price gravitate and take these buy stops on the higher time frame. Bullish, right? Bullish. Nothing has changed in our or in my bias, right? Right now, we had the current candle, but bear in mind today was Wednesday, so we're not even fully through the week. We don't know how this candle's going to close. But noting that as well. And why is this still showing on the weekly? So annoying. All right, anyways, there we go. So expecting higher prices. Expecting higher prices. Oh, look, it's here too, isn't it? Yeah, it literally is. All right. Well, anyways, now that we've ran buy stops, let's go to a lower time frame or the higher time frame, which is where I start on the daily. All right. So we're noting untested highs, untested lows, everything in between. Right. Pretty redundant. All right. So here's the very first thing we notice. This large candle that was created today in a premium in a level of buy side where we saw complete movement in one direction. Now, here's the idea that I'm framing on the daily. This is a consolidation before the up move, and there is an order block right here, last down close candle before the up move. So that is noted. We'll see if price wants to respect that, right? And it may even just run below, but I would be demanding aggressive movement below that. And it's obviously the same thing for both, right? So that's the next idea. That's the next expected draw on liquidity. And disregard this gap right here, because as I mentioned, that's the contract. But these relative equal lows, this order block, that's where we're expecting price to go to. Now, if price does decide to go ahead and, trade below these lows aggressively, right, then we can potentially be looking for price to continue lower from there to these other different price points we have. But we have to keep in mind, this is a lot of time that we're looking at, right? Ultimately, the first thing I'm expecting is for price to move back down here, and I'm waiting for additional confirmation of that. And we'll refine that, but just keep in mind, we're looking at a level of sell side liquidity here. moving from a premium. We do have this order block, so I'm going to hold my bias and, continue expecting higher prices with that in mind, but I'm going to see how it reacts there. All right, let's get down to the 4 hour, right? Same thing. You got to keep in mind, this is viewed now as a retail level of resistance or just a level of resistance, these clean lows, right? People will draw these lines on the charts like, oh yeah, price rejected off here over and over. This is obviously price is not gonna, break through that level of resistance. Like this is a resistance level, it's just gonna hit it and keep going higher. Okay. Ultimately, I'm focused on this order block. If it wants to trade past the halfway point of the order block, then we'll see price gravitate towards these stops. Is it any different for NQ? Hell no. Same exact thing, same exact concept. How about the 1 hour? Let's look at the weekly range, right? Let me delete this because that is not relevant. All right, listen. Well, it is relevant, but what we're looking at here is an aggressive run below an old low. And notice how this forms at 2 p.m. Yes, we had these high impact news drivers. All right, but this would not be a part of that. So what we ultimately see here is price takes these buy stops and then aggressively breaks below an old low. So now the real test is going to be when price trades back up here, and it will because of how inefficient this was delivered to the sell side, right? When price trades back up here, is it going to rebalance this price leg lower, trading to here, about 16961, or, right, is it going to continue after this and move to a level of buy side? Because if you also look here, let's really see what happened here. And just based on where we are now, and like I said, we're going to watch it. We're watching price. This alone, like price running through an old low, it's not enough because we're on a lower time frame. But anyways, listen, these lows back here haven't been touched. Okay, look at these wicks, right? So even though these wicks are creating these technical lows here, the majority of the volume is in these bodies, and price ran through those stops, right? So we have a level of sell side liquidity taken with an underlying bullish bias, right? Now we also can notice this break in structure, but we can anticipate price trading down to this level because there are stops down here in the form of sell stops, right? That all obviously applies here and here and here in these lows. But ultimately, the ideal price action that I'd be waiting to see is to see price trade here, make a failure swing, and then continue lower, right? But we also have, and that would also validate what I'm about to explain. Here's a breaker. So we have this high, tricking traders into thinking that price is going higher, and in reality, it actually just takes these buy stops out. So the breakout trader, whether you're retail, institutional, right? Breakout traders are going to expect a continuation, and of course, they get absolutely demolished. But the idea I'm pointing out here is buy side liquidity is taken, then we have an old low, which is ran through aggressively. So ultimately, this would be a breaker if we see price actually retrade to that to rebalance that price range and continue lower, right? But that's the current idea, or that's what we're looking for. This, like I said, in itself, pairing it with the idea that we have stops here, right? We didn't actually take out this low. We ultimately have seen one day where price aggressively traded lower, and we can justify it easily by looking at a level of sell side liquidity. All right, is that any different here? Now we just see price running these stops. But here's what's going to be interesting. If price wants to continue trading lower, we're going to, focus on that now. But again, now we're below the level, even on a lower time frame from last week, the lows that were created at the end of the week. All right, those now have been traded to. Took these stops that were placed below here. We have this large imbalance, so we're going to continue watching, price and see kind of how it wants to go. But that's the idea right now. So let's get this straight. Bullish on every time frame up to now, focusing on the movement to a level of sell side liquidity, understanding this was an untested monthly high. We ran above it about 86 to, so that's like around, it's around like 50 pips or so. right? So we ran above that, and that's reasonably what we would expect, around 50 pips, right? 830 to 74785. So it's actually less than that, but anyways, we could reasonably expect that, and now we're seeing reaction lower. So let's see what price wants to continue doing, right? We understand price is trading down here, take these stops. Doesn't want to take these stops and go higher. Doesn't want to take these stops and go lower. So enough ranting on that. It's the same idea for both of them. Let's go down to the 15-minute. I'm going to mark the levels, and then I'm going to end this off. Well, I already have it marked, but we're going to talk about it real quick. So I got to go. I literally. All right. So anyways, higher time frame, institutional chart. So here's today's high and today's low. Ran out these lows here, these lows here, these lows here, these lows here. It's clearly a shift in market structure in terms of price now running these lows, right? So we can reasonably expect price to want to trade back up here, but we've taken, as I mentioned, all levels of buy side. I've been mentioning this all week. With the buy side has been exhausted. And now that we've taken those stops, we can reasonably expect price to trade lower. And what better than all these previous lows from like the last 5 days of price action that we've been, continuously seeing. Again, the idea is price going to continue doing this? Are we going to continue to see lower days? What we're ultimately seeing here, if price trades to this level right here, the 16963 level, and we don't see it violate this high, that is amazing. Mwah, that's what I want to see, honestly. All right, how about here for an ES? Can it really be that much different? Well, you see, ES did move significantly, right? I mean, actually, these moves about the same. It's because it's stretched. But, anyways, lows taken, level of sell side. Still keeping in mind this inefficient, or this right here, where price was delivered on one side of the market. We can reasonably expect price to trade from here to here because price was only offered on the buy side, right? Now, in terms of looking at today's range, here we are, daily range. Don't know why this moved. I don't believe I marked that there. But anyways, mark that here, here. Okay, cool. Now we're going to note the daily highs and daily lows, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, what is it going to do? Oh, yeah, notes. Some. Okay. And for an NQ, $12:45 p.m. 17064.50. 17064.50. 12:45 p.m. One six seven five eight point 50. 4 p.m. ES. 4830.75. 12:45 p.m. 4830.75. Dude, come on. Why is it doing that? It's putting it as like 4U. 4746.50. 4 p.m. So, price moved absolutely together today. In fact, the highs and lows of the day formed at the exact same time. I'm going to pull up Notion now. All right, here we go. Trading journal, today's entry, new. Give me one moment. Journal entry. Okay. Boom, post that. And all right. See if it shows up now. Come on, like, why is it? It's in the right place, the 20th, yeah. Let's just go ahead and refresh. Should be popping up. No? Why is that? Sure, I'm gonna find it somewhere. It's weird though. Actually, I'm gonna have to check now because I don't know why that wouldn't show. Alright, well, anyways, I'll add an icon here. Today we closed lower. Lows formed at the same time of the day. And to simplify the video, I'm overall expecting higher prices, but understanding that on lower time frames we have different levels of liquidity that we can see price draw to. We are seeing a break in structure in the form of price actually, moving from this point where it's creating lows and taking out highs or short-term highs that it creates to now moving to a higher time frame level of buy side liquidity, and we now see price reacting off of that aggressively at that level of buy stop. The aggressive movement can also be attributed to distribution in the form of smart money exiting their long positions above a higher time frame level of buy side liquidity, because we understand these large institutions are trend following in nature. So my point is, I'm still watching price. I'm going to see, what price wants to continue doing or showing a willingness to do. I'm noting that break in structure, and for now, I'm waiting for additional confirmation. I can frame different areas, before the consolidation, before the aggressive up move, where price was delivered to one side of the market inefficiently, and we can reasonably expect price to trade to those levels. But outside of that, we'll continue, and I'll pick this up tomorrow. And peace.